So you have a 5-step process to help people unleash like what's inside of them. Can you walk through a little bit of this process that I know you put out in your book, you put out into your podcast, you've talked about this on a regular basis, but I think it's really valuable for listeners to kind of think through and get a taste of what you can offer them if they were reaching out to you to help you, to help themselves in that next chapter, accomplishing the impossible, if you will.
Yeah, let me give a little foundation before I answer that question. If I say simply, right? Like, so for example, if you're not getting the results you want, like you're not getting the cash and prizes you want, it's because you're taking the wrong actions, right? The wrong actions you're taking are coming from a mindset that's not in alignment with the target. The mindset that's not in alignment with the target is coming from a frame that's not in alignment with the target. Does that make sense? So while your brain will tell you, if I'm not getting the results, it's a strategy problem, I need to figure out what to do, it's actually not a strategy problem, it's a frame problem. So, and this is basically what alignment is. So for example, we take action, right? At the end of the day, you're after an action, right? Where does the action come from? The action comes from your mind. The action you take comes from your mindset. Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
Now, results-based coaching, just coaches at this level right here, mindset and action, because they haven't got to the higher level yet, okay? But you also probably have heard people say that mindset's hard to change, right? How do you change? You got repetitions, incantations, affirmations, stuff like that. But it's when you try to change mindset from the level of mindset, it's very difficult. But when you understand where mindset comes from, it's very easy to change mindset, because where mindset actually comes from is your frame. Frame is the frequency of you. The frequency of you creates the frequency of your thoughts. The frequency of your thoughts creates the actions you take. So if you are 100% certain you can hit the target, you are in alignment. The frame will create an aligned mindset that'll create an aligned action, and you'll hit the target. Boom. If the mindset is 98% certain, it's not alignment. So the concept that we're doing is we're teaching people how to hit their goals by aligning their frequency with that to make it happen faster. So, and it leads to, instead of like grinding, you get like naturally inspired action and flow. And that's right there. And we're the only people on the planet that are coaching at the frame level right now. Okay.
But I know you're going to go deeper. I just wanted to make a comment. One of the things that my boys both play soccer all the time. And one of the things that sometimes happens when you're an athlete is you get impatient. The game is maybe it's not going the way that you want. You're not touching the ball in a soccer game as much as you'd like. And I find myself, as a father, as a coach at times saying, let the game come to you. Let just continue to do what you do, but let the game come to you, because when we try to force ourselves upon the game, it's the opposite effect that we get. And I feel like that's kind of the framework of what you're talking about here.
Well, because everything we want involves other people. Now, maybe you want a six-pack abs is all you, but most of the stuff we're working towards involves other people. So and this is where I used to get stuck, and some people get stuck, is they'd plant their flag trying to tell life how it is. But if you align with life, that's where the magic really starts to come out.
Yeah, it's funny because with alignment, that when I talk about my life model, what I'm talking about is my alignment model. Life to me was, I just established the 4 blocks, the 4 compartments, the 4 quadrants of life that were most important to me. And I'm always in balance, because anytime you're working towards a goal, you find yourself putting more energy into one area than another, or maybe I'm saying, hey, I've been on the road. I have so much work I'm doing. But if family and these things are the most important things, I'm not prioritizing those things. But by putting them down on paper, by identifying them, I'm always able to see where I need to recalibrate. And it's how I've always stayed focused and been able to, even though we find ourselves misaligned, it kind of helps to make the target. What is the target? Why am I working towards the target? That's a interesting dynamic.
Agree. 100%.
So you were setting up the framework. You were giving us some description.
Okay, so we've got This is alignment. Alignment is the first step of the framework. And it's actually really simple. Now it's hard to comprehend because mindset's hard to comprehend. It's easy to comprehend mindset when you're looking at somebody else because you can see the difference in your mindset. But when your own mindset, it's your reality. So you're not thinking that you're not looking at your problem going, I'm thinking in a limited way because it's just your reality, right? So the framework itself is 5 steps. The first one is, what is alignment? And once you understand that process of alignment, we apply it in 4 different places. We apply it with success, which is basically business, goal setting, financial mindset, leadership, all that stuff. So we'll align it with success. We align you with yourself. We align you with other people, and we align you with life. And those are the 4 areas where people get kicked out of alignment as they're growing and expanding, trying new things. And the great thing is that once you understand how to get into alignment, it works in every single subject the exact same way. So the people that actually come in to work with us, and they may be coming, Jason, I'm hiring you as a coach because I want to grow my business or I want to make more money. And what actually happens after 6 months, a year, we literally raise every area of their life because as human beings, we end up getting so stuck on the subject. So we're thinking about the subject of what we want, right? We don't think about which I call subject frame. We don't really think about our process frames, which is how your brain thinks, what your brain thinks is possible, how life works for you. And all of those are beliefs that you can change. So basically, over time, we start to shift all of those your beliefs and your frames in alignment so you automatically operate how you want to.
That's awesome. And so true. I mean, so much of this is frequency. We are the energy that we put out into the world. And if we're putting the wrong energy out there, then we're actually getting the wrong results so often, right?
Yeah. Well, like you can be in a sad frequency and have sad thoughts and sad actions. You're going to be in a happy frequency, have happy thoughts and happy actions. But you can also be in a 85% certain you can do it entrepreneur mindset versus 100%. So it's a lot of times there's this last part, we use positive thinking instead of getting into alignment. And when you make that shift, like when I started coaching this way, my clients' results just went through the roof, just boom, because it's how life works.
It's powerful, though, because no matter how good you are at doing things, you have to constantly adjust and align because there are times where things are going to happen in your life where you get into a funk or something doesn't feel good. Or, we have moments where we have to remind ourselves. It's funny. It's almost like I had, when I first started the business in 16, I've never been good at mentally, I've always convinced myself I'm completely fine while my body internally is like completely blowing up from the inside out, And what I mean by that is there'll be like some autoimmune situation or I'll get eczema all over my body or some like my body is literally screaming at me.
Yeah.
And as I got older and I started to see these correlations, I started to recognize them as signs. Hey, you're not living in that alignment. You're not living in that space where you're going to feel you're telling yourself it's fine, but it's not fine. Yeah. So why is it not fine? What are we doing to get to the bottom of it?
If you like clips like this, I have a similar clip here. And if you want to watch the full video, click here.